So this is the night I went to war part 2. So when I left off in the previous one, I had laid him on that bed. I had literally cried and prayed tears all over him, rebuking that addiction to drugs. You know, the enemy is very crafty, because while I was praying for him not to be addicted to drugs anymore, I never once thought about praying about alcohol, and that's part of the story later. So that night I prayed. I went to war. I think I was in there for hours and hours doing this motion, going through all of this. The next morning when he wakes up, you know, here's something he said to me, and I love this because I knew what God had, I felt led to do when I was praying with him, and I had my hands behind his back, and I was just doing this the whole time, thinking about what I was pulling from him in the authority of God and with God's healing power. And that next morning when he got up and he came through the house, he said, "You all need to buy a better bed." And I was like, "Well, why do you say that?" And he goes, "Because my back is killing me right here. My back is throbbing." You know, I just really wanted to break down and shout, because the war that took place in that room, when I shut the door and I told my husband not to enter, and I told the Lord to set his army around this place, I mean, I literally wanted the Holy Spirit to encompass the ducts, the air ducts in my home. I wanted him to imitate every single space that I had in this place. I wanted the power of God to reside in that room, because I was not going to give him to the enemy. I was going to keep digging and fighting till the very end. And so after that time, when I had said that, he came through and he said his back was killing him, I just had such peace to know what happened. So fast forward just a little bit, just so you know, from that moment on, drugs seemed to leave him. He seemed to completely just not want to do drugs anymore. But he said now he was going to drink alcohol because it was socially acceptable and it was legal. And so I thought to myself, I could take myself back to that bedroom, back where he was laying on that bed, and I was thinking about the drugs, and I was naming these drugs, and I never once named alcohol. And so there became this other battle. But what I want to tell you is, out of the blue, nowhere, my hands started hurting so bad from my wrist up. I mean, literally, the pain was intensive, so bad that it would wake me up in the middle of the night. And this went on forever until I sat down in my hairdresser seat. And so tune in for the next phase of what God gave me about that.